There is an ancient legend in the heart of Scythia, where the culture and people of Scythia originated from. In this legend, there is a she-dragon, or hybrid serpent, whom ruled over the lands of Scythia, long before the first Scythian kings ruled over it. Legend has it, that this hybrid creature, is actually the ancestor of the Scythians, and was a consort of the Greek hero Herakles, whom is also, their ancestor. This serpent mother goddess, have much in common, with the Sumerian, primordial goddess, Inanna, the mother of monsters, Tiamat, and Echidna from Greek mythology. According to this Scythian legend, Herakles was traveling through the land of Scythia, during his 10th labor. He was meant to drive the cattle of Geryon, the giant, back to King Eurystheus, whom is a grandson of Perseus. Keep in mind, the Persians claim descent from Perses, whom was the son of Perseus. Perseus is a half-brother of Herakles, and the son of Zeus and Danae. In these videos, you will begin to see how many nations of royal and nobility are connected, or descended, from the Anunnaki gods and goddesses, which are of the serpent, reptilian seed of Azazel, Shemiaza, and even Astaroth, the Queen of Heaven. So back to the legend of Herakles and Artempasa. Upon nightfall, as Herakles slept in the lands of Scythia, a snake-legged goddess stole the cattle of Geryon, and hid them from Herakles. He then went in search for them and found a cave, which was the dwelling of this aquipede goddess, which is called the Dracaena of Scythia. Now the word Dracaena is derived from the word Drac, Draca, Draco, and Dracone, which is then translated to dragon in English. In the Afrikaans language, it is spelled Drac, which is an offshoot language of Dutch and German, and sound almost identical to Drac and Dracaena. That being said, dragons in mythology varied in size, gender, and aspects. All were considered shape-shifting creatures, and tied to the supernatural. Some were worshipped as gods. They all had reptilian, or serpent human natures, and forms. Some dragons were considered to be creatures of the waters, others were associated with the weather, and then there are those associated with the underworld Patala, and Nagas of the Hindu faith. Some dragons had multiple heads like the Herensuj, and take human form to procreate with mankind. Echidna was no exception. Very few myths explain the origin of these serpent entities. I hope to shed some light on that mystery in these videos. So back to Herakles and Echidna. After the she-dragon stole the cattle and Herakles entered her cave, she told him she hid the cattle, and would only return them to him if he would lay with her one night. Of course this lay would mean, not just sleep, but impregnate her, like all supernatural entities that wish to procreate with mankind. Being the son of Zeus, and Nephilim himself, he does just that. After he laid with the serpent goddess, she returned the cattle to him, and instantly knew she would be pregnant with 3 sons. As legend has it, many goddesses have the knowledge of foresight, and master the magic of satyr. Echidna asked Herakles, what shall she do with his sons when they are grown up? He presented her with his girdle and bow, stating, whichever of these boys can wear his father's girdle, and use the bow, she should keep, and make king over the land, the other 2 should be rejected and sent away. This is very common amongst the goddesses, the Spartans, and royal bloodlines, which bred only within their own families. In order to keep their genetics pure, they also rejected, and disposed, of their unfortunate and disabled offspring. The fairy folk and even siren and selkie wives of mortal men did the same. Echidna gave birth to 3 sons, Agathyrsus, Galenus, and Scythes, and as the boys grew, she set challenges for them. The latter and youngest of the 3, Scythes, was able to wear the girdle, and use the bow of his father, Herakles. She then made him king over the land of Scythia, and sent the other 2 boys away. Scythes received all the land of Scythia, and became the ruler and forefather of the Scythian people. This myth was taught within the Scythian culture, royal elites of Scythia and their religion, long before it became a Greek myth. Therefore the Greek hero Herakles, and Echidna, is first recounted in the Scythian culture, before becoming part of the Greek culture. Echidna and Scythes would become part of the Scythian pantheon of the deities, which the Scythian people worshipped. The Scythian aquipede goddess was depicted, in her 2-tailed serpent form on many of their religious artifacts. She was considered to be androgynous, and in some depictions, she had a beard, and a following of transvestite priesthood, in her service. As you can see in this video, one goddess, with many names, different forms, similar cults, and the same religious aspects and traditions, throughout time and space, that was upheld by her devoted worshippers. This goddess shares so many similarities with other goddesses in the Greek, Phrygian, Scythian, Roman, Egyptian, Mesopotamian, Hindu and Sumerian cultures, because they are one and the same goddess. Take for example, Inanna and her cross-dressing priesthood, called the Gala priests of Inanna, which is eerily similar in sound and function, to the Galli, which were the eunuch priesthood, of the mother goddess cult of Cybele. The cult of the Syrian mermaid goddess, Atargatis, also had a transvestite priesthood in Ashkelon. The Ephesian Artemis had her own ladyboy followers, called Megabyxoi. The Scythian goddess Artimpasa, aka Echidna, was worshipped and followed by the Inare priests, whom were strangely enough also androgynous/effeminate priests, and shamanistic soothsayers of the goddess and Scythian royalty. These goddesses, and especially Artimpasa, has many commonalities with the Greek goddess Aphrodite, especially in her heavenly aspect and form, of Aphrodite Urania, and Ananke, the primordial goddess of the fates. She has often been worshipped as the goddess Nemesis, Astrea, and no wonder, for Inanna gained hold of the Me tablets, which gave her powers over a list of things concerning the fate of mankind and the universe. My main goal for this video was to show that Inanna, aka the heavenly Aphrodite, can take on many forms, and masquerade as various different goddesses, some that were associated with the moon and hunt cult of Artemis, the Mother Earth cult of Cybele, the war cult of Athena, sex cult of Ishtar and Astarte, and the magic and death cult of Hecate, Ma Kali, and the underworld, not to forget the cult of the serpent goddess and even the mermaid cult, and yet she can still be one and the same goddess across different time and space. This goddess is a fallen female angel, one of the watchers known to the ancient Sumerians as the Anunnaki, a daughter of the sky god Anu, claiming to be the daughter of any of the other gods. In order to fit her new persona and religious cults, she started on the earth. She is the greatest deceiver, the queen of heaven, that became the whore of Babylon, and she is in fact the female Lucifer, and the goddess of the highest occult and secret societies. They refer to her as the sacred virgin, the sacred mother, and the wise old woman. All three aspects of the virgin, mother, and the wise old crone. This goddess has had a few mortal lovers, and have brought forth a serpent seed on the earth, both before and after the great deluge, which I am hoping to trace and expose in my upcoming videos. I thank you for watching, and hope you will return for my follow-up video. We will take a deeper look at Inanna's cult, religious practices, and mystery schools throughout the different civilizations. I wish only hope, faith, and blessings upon you as you go upon your day. Have a good day. Goodbye.